Oh man, this is gonna get complicated. I'm just like planning out how I'm going to have to level. Because there's still stuff from Ranger I want.
When we started our last campaign, like before we ever began, Raka had a comprehensive list of what level what class he would take at each level for his perfect build. And then I think by like level 4, I'd already thrown him a curveball. He's like, "Oh, no, I want to do something else now."
Yeah, I
Alrighty.
do something similar. I already kind of have something in mind. Because yeah, I don't want to gimp the fact that I'm a ranger as I go into the nature domain.
Were you saying you created a list, or that you'll make things available, but it's just random shit from people that have died?
Yeah, anything that you want, I'll make available in the Discord. If you'll go back in the Tools tab to November of 2018, there are 3 different entries that you should find useful. There's Master Adventuring Gear, Master Mundane Armor, and Master Mundane Weapons.
Okay, yep, gotcha.
Those should include the recommended prices, so we can assume that the asking price will be in the neighborhood of 5 times whatever that amount is.
Cool, cool, cool. Howdy, y'all. I'm pretty much done leveling my dude. I just need to update one of the new spells.
Okay. All right, so let's try to get one another caught up, because I'm sure I've blocked some stuff out of my memory. You guys are in Blinsky's shop. You found, well, a number of really weird toys for sale. And you noticed on his little workbench that he had a doll that looked suspiciously like Irina Kolyana, and got into a conversation about how the Burgomaster's right-hand man, I can't remember if I was pronouncing his name as Isaac or Ezek. We're going to go with Isaac now, because
Because
whatever.
it's easy like someday. No, I can't do that because we're streaming.
Yeah, you can't get away with too many of those. And Isaac is the one-armed bully that you had heard about coming in, except now it appears that he has a monster arm where he was missing an arm before, and he has a deeply unhealthy fixation on, he doesn't know it's Irina, but you now do. Oh, and I think as we were bailing out, Raka, you said that Sniverax would want to request Blinsky make a quality replacement for her sword.
Not replacement, just fix it up. It's gone through a lot of use. She likes the one she has.
Okay. So I feel like Blinsky would, after a quick once over, would tell you that, yeah, he can probably sharpen it up a little bit, which would basically be whittling it down. But he recommends that if you can find a very special type of wood, he might be able to craft you something a little bit more durable. He mentions specifically the wood from a Gulphias tree.
That goes in the notes.
Hey, I have a. Sorry, this is somewhat unrelated, but you know how different classes have different spell slots at specific levels? Are those spell slots only for spells of that class type, or does that carry over to something else?
All right, so if you're going to be 3 levels of Ranger, 1 level of Cleric, you look on the Ranger list and you can go down to 3. That's what you've got for Cleric. You're at 1. Did that answer your question, or did I just need to repeat what you said back to you?
that was repeating for me. So let's think about cleric level 3. Let's say I stick with ranger level 3, and I move cleric to also level 3. Okay. Now cleric level 3 has 4 first level spell slots and 2 second level spell slots, but ranger does not. How does that work?
Well, you have 2 different spell books to work out of.
Gotcha. Okay, so it is spellbook specific then.
That's the way I interpret it. Yes.
Okay, so does that mean that I have currently 3 first level ranger spell slots and 2 first level cleric spell slots for a total of
Yes.
5?
You have 2 first level cleric spell slots.
And that's
Yeah.
additive then, right?
Yeah, they're not
Gotcha.
going to cross over. So like you could theoretically like burn out all of your cleric shit and be useless as a cleric and still have a full ranger spellbook ready
Gotcha.
to go.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So and Blinsky would add to Sniverax that he doesn't know exactly where such trees are located, but he has heard rumors about them before, and that their branches sometimes have magical properties.
That's a new thing to find.
And so I think you guys had this discussion before you got in there, but like, were you done discussing Strahd's invitation before you entered this shop? As in, Blinsky has not heard you use the word invitation or the name Strahd since you've been in here.
We were
Yes.
still
Okay.
we were still in the church when we had that discussion, and then we decided to come to Blinsky's.
Are we trying to keep that a secret?
I don't think we should bandy it about.
Okay.
So far, the only people around that know are this group, the 3 people that you left behind in the church, which is the minister, the guy who owns the coffin maker shop, and Irina, and then whomever delivered the letter.
You can ignore this in a second, it's just a test.
Does anyone else have things that they want in here?
I can't remember, was the Strahd doll for sale?
It is.
Right, there is a ventriloquist's dummy that looks like Strahd that is for sale for 9 silver pieces.
I would like to buy that.
You said there are other odd-looking dolls around here, right? Were any of them things that we recognized?
Let me go through this list again. Like there were no others. Like there's nothing that looks like you guys. Headless doll with a sack of attachable heads, including one with the eyes and mouth stitched shut for 9 copper. Miniature gallows complete with trapped door and a weighted hangman for 9 copper. Set of wooden nesting dolls, gets older as it gets smaller. The innermost one is a mummified corpse, 9 copper. Wooden string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings, 9 copper. Musical wind-up merry-go-round with figures of snarling wolves chasing children in place of prancing horses, 9 silver. And then we've already talked about the Strahd doll and the Irina doll. So yeah, Corfel, assume that you have now a ventriloquist dummy that looks like Strahd von Zarovich.
Excellent.
And you are 9 silver pieces lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab the aging nesting dolls.
Okay, we'll say that's only 9 copper.
Also, how much is Blinsky going to charge for a like cleaning, polishing, tightening all the fittings on the my toy sword.
So he tells you that the price is going to be half a gold piece.
Okay.
Which is to say, I think, 5 silver pieces. And he goes ahead and takes it from you and works on it. And rather than like actually whittling, like there's a lot of sanding and adjusting. He works quickly, but like you can tell he's skilled. He's not destroying your sword. And he sort of recovers his voice. Like if you'll remember, he was a little shocked when he realized that the dolls that he made actually looked like someone and weren't just random nonsense, a reflection of Isaac's madness. And yeah, so he's working. He's not really looking up. He's watching what he's doing and occasionally double checking the monkey on his shoulder, which, if you've forgotten, there is literally a monkey on his shoulder. So you are explorers, yes? Adventurers?
That is accurate, yes. We came here as part of the Adventurers Guild, although that has slowly been replaced as we can no longer make contact.
Over the course of your explorations, do you think you might find yourself in Castle Ravenloft?
I suppose we must at some point.
Well, this is very interesting. I am a great toy maker, but I do not yet consider myself the master. My master was a toy maker named Fritz von Weirg. And I have heard a rumor that von Weirg's greatest invention, a clockwork man, is somewhere in the castle. If you happen to go there and find the masterpiece and could deliver it to me, I could exchange something for it. A toy of your choosing, perhaps my new friend Piccolo here. And he points at the monkey on his shoulder.
Well, this seems like a difficult request. First, a clockwork man? I have heard of Warforged from a different age, or perhaps something I do not understand. But are they not as sentient as you or I?
Blinsky shrugs. I do not know the nature of the clockwork man. I wish to study so that I can perhaps recreate, if this is ethically feasible.
If you are willing to make that compromise, then yes, we will be on the lookout for one. I do not wish to take something that is sentient against its will.
You do whatever is in your own best interest. If that happens to become part of my business, then that is what is.
Is that perhaps where you heard of the Goltias tree?
No, I believe I have heard the tree mentioned in the context of druids.
Oh, are the druids here?
There are druids out on Yester Hill. I do not know if there is a Goltias tree there. when I heard the time that I heard someone mention that there was magical wood in Borovia, it was in the same conversation they mentioned druids in Yesterhill. Perhaps the two are related, perhaps they are not.
Quick old omelette for breakfast. 3 eggs, a slice of ham, and some greens from our garden.
Since you mentioned
that has been
Ravenloft,
coming
do
up.
you know much about Strahd himself?
Tasty, tasty.
I know very little about him directly. Actually, now that you've mentioned that, I'm going to flip to the part of the book where it tells me exactly what all these people in Vallaki know about the world. I can tell you that the burgomaster is in staunch opposition to Strahd. He keeps having these festivals that he thinks will somehow defeat the, and he makes finger quotes here, the devil. Last week we had the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Lots of wolf carcasses in the village was, ugh. Starting soon is the Festival of the Blazing Sun. As it's been a festival a week for a couple of years.
I assumed that with a monstrous arm, he was in league with Strahd.
But that is the burgomaster's right-hand man, so to speak. I do not claim to know where his arm came from, but the burgomaster himself, not a fan of Strahd. Isaac Strasny, he's not a well person, not a person you would do well to be around. Very, very violent past. He, as a child, there was some sort of tragedy where he lost his arm to a wolf. He compensated for this by being a big bully, and I think at some point killing another boy. As I understand it, the burgomaster forgave him, and he became loyal. If there is someone in town who knows a bit about Strahd, I think it would have to be the Lady Wachter. I believe I had heard that her family used to have ties to Strahd of some sort.
What do you know of the Vistani outside Vallaki?
Well, I have very little dealing with them directly, since they are not welcome in Vallaki and they are not generally friendly. Somewhere to the south and a little bit to the west, I think. I'm told there is a path, but I do not go that way.
You grabbed the nesting dolls, right, Rocco?
Yes. I do not mean to pry any more into something you may not know, but
That's very fancy map.
do you know anything of Strahd's tastes? I have a feeling we may attract attention at some point, and from what we have heard from others, he is very into this view of himself as honorable or a gracious host of sorts. What sort of thing might make a good gift for someone like this? I picked up the dolls, hoping it might work, but you may know more.
Blinsky, like, he seems kind of lost in thought, like he's actually stopped working on the sword and sort of stares off into the distance. He is different things to different people. To some, he is charmer, sexy, even. To others, he is horrible, despair-causing monster. I I tend to think of him as a force of nature,
Love you.
like a bear.
Everybody's already been fed.
The bear is going to do what the bear is going to do. You do your best not to wander into its cave or cover your naughty bits in delicious smelling grease.
I do try to avoid that, yes.
I, I try to not incur wrath, to stay out of way, to not be noticed by bear.
It is a good strategy, but as I said, I believe we may end up catching attention. As you said, we are adventurers. It is almost inevitable.
Sometimes best way to keep bear from eating you is to throw it a big fish. But I do not know how that metaphor translates here.
A toy fish?
I suppose in a day or two I could, yes, I could make a fish. Could be maybe mounted on the wall, wiggle a little bit, a couple days, maybe sing song.
But maybe I will ask around a little more and see if I can learn what we can. I appreciate the offer, though. I'm pretty sure
It's a tempting offer, but I think I'll pass.
if we show up with a singing bass, he's just going to kill us by principle.
Oh, what if we bring it as a gift?
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. If we gift him a singing bass, he's going to kill us on principle.
Do you think
Well,
so,
hey,
though?
If you guys don't remember, you've got to give it context. When Big Mouth Billy Bass was a thing, for the first week that those existed, they were so funny and clever and neat. It wasn't until they'd been around a couple months that you're just like, oh my god, kill that fucking thing. Or even better, the batteries started to die and they just take me to the river.
Doesn't sound demonic enough to accurately dying.
I once again have an annoying puppy who likes to hang out
Yeah,
and
so,
shove her head under my arm and lift it away
Lizzie
from
hands
everything on my
Cigarette's
desk.
back her sword. Any fittings have been tightened, replaced as needed. It's been given a good sanding so it maintains as much of an edge as basically a pine wood sword can.
It's not going to be sharp. It just has to be, not falling apart. And smooth.
It's smooth where it's supposed to be. I realize as that came out of my mouth that it sounded dirty, but moving along.
I think I've exhausted everything I can think of.
Run me real quick through what's left in the thing. So we've got I bought the Strahd, or the ventriloquist dummy. Raka grabbed the nesting dolls.
Right, there was the doll that looks like Irina that he would not part with because he didn't want to die.
Right.
Headless doll with sack of attachable heads, miniature gallows, wooden string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings, merry-go-round with wolves chasing down children.
And they were all 9 copper each, right?
Except for the merry-go-round, which was 9 silver.
9 silver. Blinsky. Your work has caught my eye, but we're here on business. How about I give you 12 silver for everything but the doll you're currently working on?
Let's do a perception, fucking persuasion check.
You're not bad.
Oh, yeah, no, that's beautiful. That was going to be a low DC anyway. Yes, this is acceptable.
I'll mark all that down later.
All right, so yeah, you've basically bought out his entire inventory, so he is now ready to fuck off for the rest of the day. If memory serves, this is still fairly early in the morning on your second day in town.
If we have excess time, I'd like to go to the stockyard and... Well, no, we did get a lead on where to find the trees, right? You told us where druids are.
Yeah, so I told you that the druids are at a place called Yester Hill. Let me see
Lily,
if that
stop.
is on a map.
Nothing else, I may just pop in on the stockyard again, see if anybody knows about where that tree might be. I'm assuming the stockyard is, everything, including like lumber work.
Yes. While you were there, the stockyard would have included a couple of buildings of various functions. There was also off in the corner a very brightly colored wagon that was just parked there. I think I mentioned it, but I don't remember for sure, so we're going to cover it again.
No, I don't think you mentioned the brightly covered wagon before, or colored wagon before.
Okay, so on the handout map of Barovia, the one that has all of the letters on it that correspond to places, Y is Yester Hill.
Okay. I need to pull it up.
As a note for you as well, D, instead of the ability improvement, I took a feat, so I now have Warcaster. Just so if I start throwing Eldritch Blasts as attacks of opportunity, you know why.
Right on.
Do I need any sort of check to get a bit of information from the stockyard?
What are you looking for?
Just if they know about this tree.
Let's say investigation check.
Okay.
I'm going to say they don't really know anything.
So we're at the stockyard now?
Oh, I was just going to pass through. Unless anybody else wants to do stuff.
I'm just hanging. But as you're asking around, perhaps this would be something the Vistani would also know of, given their proclivity for the arcane.
Yes. They do seem to move around a lot. They must have come across a story.
Perhaps.
Do you think that's our next stop?
I would be curious to locate this potential ally among the Vistani, yes.
It would be nice to find more allies here. I agree. We seem to only be finding enemies. And those who need help or protection. How far away are the Vistani from here?
So you guys have been told that they are near the village of Valaki, but they are to the south and west. That there's a path that goes there, but nobody that you've talked to has been there before.
Blinsky said they were sort of just outside Valaki to the west, though, right?
Yeah, to the south and west is
Yeah.
what you've gotten from everybody so far.
And about what time is it now?
Let's say it's late morning. Like, it's well before noon, though.
Okay.
Like, honestly, you could make it out there by lunchtime, is the impression that you've got.
Okay. Kello, Kalika, you guys have anything you want to do in here before we perhaps journey outside the walls?
I don't think so.
Sorry,
Let
yeah,
me-
no, not me either.
I'm gonna double check something real quick. You guys have moved from Blinsky's and you've headed out to the stockyard, which is on the far side of town from where you're wanting to go.
I mean, we're at the same side of town we came in from previously, though, right?
Yes. The Arasek stockyard is very near the gate through which you entered into the Lucky.
Because Kello still needs to return the leash and accoutrement.
Yeah, we can pass by and just return that stuff.
Okay. So with that being said, may I assume that the plan is to leave town on the east side, then just kind of follow along the wall outside of town on the south until you find the path that takes you to the Vistani encampment?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So unless you guys wanted to hassle the guards, we'll just assume that the same guards were there and that they returned the pelts that were left with them on deposit.
Hey!
I looked them up and down. We will likely return, but we cannot continue this farce of you insisting my colleague's beast companion be bound for us to enter.
It should also be pointed out that he was definitely not bound when we walked up to them.
That's because you're already handing stuff back, Pratim.
No. It was straight up nowhere to be found on the wolf. The wolf is just I want the wolf to be eyeing them. Like fuck with me and find out kind of.
I think we've said that at least 3 times every session at this point. All right, so the gate guard at this point kind of shrugs. Look, if it were up to me, I wouldn't really care what you do there. Just, if you get caught in town with the wolf at some point, do it at a time when I'm not on the gate, okay? I don't want to be the one, who has to end up in the stocks in the town square wearing a weird animal head, okay? That was addressed to you, Callow.
I mean, I don't understand why I'd be needing to wear a weird animal head.
Look, the burgomaster's got some weird ideas about how to keep the town spirits up, and sometimes that involves putting people into stocks with animal heads for being what was it? Yeah, donkey-headed criminals.
Okay. I don't really care, but okay.
You care
See
if
you
you're the
around.
one in the stocks, pal. Catch you later. Okay. So I'm going to pull you back to the town of Valaki map. So you are going to pop out of town on the far east side, move along the south and through the woods. And I think I'm figuring this map out. I think I can just show you this marker.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah.
can see the what looks like a campsite down there.
Okay, you now should be able to see the N9 marker down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. No?
Ah,
Hey, nice.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of shit that I've been able to see that I didn't realize you guys couldn't, so sorry. So that's where you're going. And because I haven't done it in like 20 minutes, I'm going to throw a random encounter at you as you walk through the woods to get there.
Who's excited for 20 zombies?
Don't tempt fate like that.
Team Y, dude.
No, I'm excited.
Okay, so this is a daytime encounter, so let's see what the dice have for us, shall we? All right, so it is a d12 plus a d8. So that's going to be 11.
Another snake trap. Because they're clearly not bear traps anymore.
Look,
Yes, we've
did a thing.
definitely undone all of the traps at this point.
If you look in the Curse of Strahd thing, I'm planning things out in the text channel.
Team, what the fuck is that, dude?
Okay, I have to pull up a stat block here. Oh boy.
Oh shit, you took spiritual weapon?
I'm
You're
planning.
planning. This is okay. This is your roadmap to success. Gotcha.
Presumably he's tired of all of his weapon attacks doing either jack or shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to using my new trick.
you do get cantrips. Which ones? Oh, there's some potent ones for you.
Yeah, I know. I have to look into the cantrips as well.
You could just take Shillelagh, the same thing I have.
I can only use it with a
that.
lance, though.
Yeah,
I can only
for
use
sure.
it with like a lance.
We were actually
You can pick up
discussing
a
that
stick.
last week, Rocker.
You can get a quarterstaff or just any stick and bash people with it.
All right, so if you guys could please check out your passive perception for me.
Yes. Which I always struggle to remember.
13. It's passive.
What is it again,
Okay.
Rocker? It's 10 plus wisdom modifier plus proficiency if you're proficient.
I
Well,
think so.
Say it should be on your character sheet.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally still have that PDF.
I
still open.
swear to God,
I'm
it was
trying to
supposed
find
to
out
be
what-
on this thing here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Passive perception is 13 for Corfell, so 13 is the number, as you can see in the roll. So I'm going to tell you what at least Corfell and Sniverax see.
Yeah, he doesn't need it now.
As you are walking through the woods, through the mist, you see a black bird circling overhead. And strangely, it seems to react to you looking at it, and it flies away. But then a little bit later, that same bird is back, except now it's a little bit behind you, kind of keeping its distance.
What kind of a bird?
It is a black bird.
I'm trying to insight this behavior.
Oh, I have 14 passive perception. There it is.
Okay, so you've seen it too. Yeah, with a natural friggin' 20, Sniverax, this thing's checking you out. It's following you. More than that, it's definitely intelligent. you have heard that crows are sometimes more intelligent than other birds. You don't have any reason to be, but like it's like trying to be sneaky and like making decisions, and like at one point you see it like second guess itself in choosing a direction. Like you can't be 100% sure, but you're as close as you can be to certain that this black bird up in the sky following you is sapient.
I think we are being followed. I don't want to point to it, but the bird's been following us.
Should we attack it?
I do not know. I do not know the purpose with which it follows. Wait,
Perhaps we should
Kalo.
just keep an eye on it for now.
I'm gonna cast animal handling and be like, "What up?"
Cast animal handling.
Sorry, speak with animals and be like, "What up?"
He just got super excited.
Yeah, dude.
Waving like it's an old friend.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen you since history class.
Okay.
Can I help you? Can we help you?
All right, hang on. I'm gonna clear out the battle map so we can use it. Just a sec.
Oh dear God.
No, not that there's necessarily going to be a fight. Just I want to have tokens.
Fucking Pratim.
There goes my talking with people skills again.
After talking about how we need to be more fucking careful going forwards.
It's a fucking bird, dude. Come
We don't
on,
know
now.
that. We don't fucking know that.
And then it turns into 4 adult black dragons.
Okay, hopefully you can't see the nameplate on this thing. But anyway.
I can't even see the battle map.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't moved you to it yet. I was busy clearing out Blinsky's shop.
I don't see Shillelagh here.
Caw-caw.
On druid skills?
Cleric cantrips.
No, it's a druid cantrip.
Oh,
But
I
you
am not
get-
a druid.
No, you
Wait,
get to
yes I
pick one.
do. Ooh, you're right.
Yeah.
Tuki tuki caw-caw.
So yeah, the bird, when you look at it, Callow, and say the equivalent of "what's up," like it almost reacts.
No, not the equivalent. I straight up say what up. Just let us say.
I don't
what
think
up.
you can say what up in bird, sir.
I can speak with animals. You don't tell me what I can and can't say.
Would we even be able to understand him?
Pratim would.
Fair point.
Oh, we wouldn't be able to understand Pratim, no.
What's
Wait,
up?
is
You.
speak with animals, does it distort the way you speak, or does it just make it so that you can understand the animals themselves?
I'm pretty sure it just lets me understand animals.
It doesn't let them understand you as well.
In this case, the bird does react. Like, noticeably. Like, it's flying along, and, like, it forgets to flap its wings for a moment. It's so shocked. And it goes into sort of a tight circle for a minute. Like, it's clearly deciding what to do. And the group, after a few moments, hears some squawking, which Callow, you hear it as, were you talking to me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You're, what are you doing up there following us? Like, we noticed you. It's kind of hard not to notice something that's been with us the entire time, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'm a bird doing bird stuff. The fuck you doing talking to birds?
Wondering what a bird is doing following us.
Okay,
Like, there's got to be something more interesting.
So let's do what's called a tit for tat here, or great tits for blue-footed boobies. Look, you came from the town. Where you headed? Then I'll tell you where I'm from.
To be honest, I gotta ask my buddies here. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, you guys have just been listening to Callow and the Raven squawk at one another for about a minute.
I want them to know that Callow laughed at the blue titties joke, so they heard me laugh. They heard me
It's
laugh.
all right.
Has it come close enough that we can see it's a raven then? Or is it still just generic blackbird?
It's close. You can tell that it's a raven at this point, and it is it's close enough that it's probably within effective range of an attack spell if that's how you wanted to go. Like it's kind of keeping its distance, but it wants to be able to talk.
Given my connections to the Shadowfell, do I get a sense of this raven in particular as to any potential connection it may have?
So I'm going to let you decide what kind of check we do, but that could be a perception check or maybe an arcana check. Whatever you feel from your end is a good way to perceive whether or not this is connected to the Raven Queen.
I'm very amused at the thought of Jimmy just going like, "What the fuck?"
Actually, you're right. He can, yeah.
So I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, "Where are we going again?" Our bird friend over there wants to know.
That is a good question. We are going to Zvistani now, but
I think that's good enough. And I tell the bird,
Before
"We're going to the Vistani."
Before you can even finish telling him that, oh yeah, that place. Yeah, you're on the right path. Just remember when it forks up ahead a little bit, you go to the left, okay?
How did you understand that?
Oh, yeah, probably should have waited and let you explain it.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
Look,
All right, where's the tit for tat? What's up?
the tat is this. Next time you're in Vallaki, maybe you stop by the inn, and maybe you meet some new friends. The Blue Water Inn. And Corfell, for your part, let's be honest, that was kind of a shit check.
Yeah.
It's
terrible.
This particular raven, you don't feel any more connected to it via the Raven Queen than any other mundane bird.
Okay.
Can I divine sense here? Is it close enough?
Yeah, remind me, that's where you tell if it's like good or evil?
Yeah. Or if it's fiend or like any other weird association. I'll pull it up again.
Do. I don't want to tell you too much.
Okay, that's the whole thing. Location, Celestial Fiend, Undead, within 60 feet, not behind total cover. Know the type.
Okay, so it is definitely not evil. You actually hear that the angelic choir type sound that you get from sensing a being aligned with the good. It is not a celestial fiend or undead, but it seems to be good, whatever it is. And after it tells you, Callow, the bit about meeting some new friends at the Blue Water Inn, it flies off in the direction that you assume Vallaki to be, through the woods.
All right, well, I'm gonna tell them that bird said something about the Blue Water Inn next time we're in Valaki.
Interesting. I think we can trust its advice. It is well. It's more than not evil. It is the strongest source of good I've felt here so far.
That bird
Yes, I didn't
seemed a
expect
little
it.
dodgy to me.
Did it? You'll have to explain that, but I will trust you.
It didn't really want to. I mean, it understood what you were saying without me having to translate it. So I don't really know what that means. I'm just saying it was clearly not telling us things. Not that we really got a chance to talk, but if you say we can trust it,
I believe
trust.
so. Its silence may indicate something else. That it is not safe to speak things just yet.
Fair enough.
Shall we continue on?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a moment to move you to the new map.
You're a new map. Oh shit.
Your mom's a new map.
Wow.
Yes, she is.
You just say that. Did you shrink our tokens?
So this map, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but the key is a little different. It says that 1 square is 10 feet, and I don't know why it's this way. So there are 2 grids here. So yeah, it looks like your tokens have been shrunk. That is not exactly the case. But this is what you find in a clearing. Let me make sure there's not some kick-ass description I'm supposed to be reading here. Oh, that is the wrong village. Okay, the Vistani camp. The woods part to reveal an expansive clearing, a small grass-covered hill with low houses built into its sides. Fog obscures the details, but you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork and have decorative lanterns hanging from their sculpted eaves. Atop the hill, above the fog, is a ring of barrel-topped wagons that surround a large tent with a column of smoke pouring out through the hole in the top. The tent is brightly lit from within. Even at this distance, you can smell the odors of wine and horses that emanate from this central area.
Wine? It's not even fucking midday.
These are Vistani. They're fucking animals.
Wow. If Kale were here and sober, he'd be mad.
The dynamic lighting on this map is making it all sorts of weird.
Oh, I didn't even look to see what the dynamic lighting looked like. Hang on a sec.
Is there? I don't see any dynamic lighting.
The shadows, the black portions.
Okay, what is happening is there are some, the buildings and the tents have lines through them so that you can't see through the other side. So as you guys move closer, you're going to get a better view.
Oh no, I see everything.
Really?
Is what I'm saying.
Are you GM?
Not that I know of.
Well, you probably are. Actually. No, I can't think of anything else that would make you ignore the line of sight stuff.
Like I can see the lines, but I can see literally everything.
Like you can see through the buildings?
Yeah, I could tell you how many people are where, and I could tell you how many horses are around, like, on this entire map. Oh, wait, no, I can't see in the buildings. I can see in the tent. Wait, I can see in the building. Yes, I can. There are just some buildings that have stuff in it, and some buildings that don't.
Interesting. Maybe I somehow accidentally gave you true sight. Well, whatever. We'll figure that out later.
I'll just play based on the knowledge of what I should be seeing. Is that fair?
Right on. Yeah, I just pulled up the stream, and yeah, like it looks bizarre from Corfeld's perspective, but I'm digging it. They just drew lines in the wagons rather than drawing lines around the wagons, so they're these weird. Like it looks like a graphics glitch.
Yeah, it does. And like, you still watching the stream, D?
Yeah.
Lucky we're not like inebriated or shit because woo!
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
I hate it.
Yeah, this is not a problem I have.
Fucking dance party, yo. I hope nobody in the stream has any visual issues.
But yeah, even he
And
can,
apologies
he can
if
see
you
past
do.
the lines, like in the tent, right?
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, like as you approach, like you can see that some of the buildings have guards out front. And there seems to be a fair bit of activity going on.
I wish I could move Jimmy. He's stuck.
What are these outward lines there? Are they just to indicate elevation?
Yes, that is to demonstrate that this is in fact a hill. If you scroll down to the very, 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 very bottom of the map, you get a side view that better illustrates what's happening here.
Nope.
No? Oh, move your character token way the fuck down to the bottom. God.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. Holy shit.
Like you can go further south, right?
Yeah, you can go
Oh,
real
yeah, okay.
south.
Right on. Okay. Oh, so those are houses at the bottom of the hill. Right.
Yes, and they're a ring around the hill.
Yeah, so it is elevation levels then.
That's kind of cool. I like that image.
All right, so as I said, there's a bit of activity at the top of the hill inside of the ring of wagons. Like you can hear some, like a bit of a commotion inside the tent based on the accents that you're hearing.
I'm keeping an eye out for the drow that is supposed to be with the Vistani.
Okay, I'm going to remind you that they are dusk elves.
Oh, is it a dusk elf?
Yeah, dusk elves. I mean, it's an elf that looks a little different, but whatever. So you spot several dusk elves on the approach.
Oh, it is a dusk
There
elf.
is-
Sorry, yes.
There is
Every elf
literally...
is a drow.
I'm sorry, what was that, Angel?
Not every elf is a drow, dude. Jeez.
I was misremembering my notes.
It's all good. So you see several on the approach, actually. Each of the 7 buildings has a dusk elf out in front of it. Some of them look like they're standing guard. Some of them look like they're just kind of chilling. Although I don't know if you can see them from where you are, but you would have seen them on the approach.
We can probably do without some Jimmy fan art for a little while.
So if your interest is purely talking to dusk elves, head to one of the buildings.
I'll wait for now. Let's come into the camp proper, and then I'll work from there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit because this is nuts.
Yeah, the way the dynamic lighting is working on this for line of sight makes it all a bit janky.
So do me a favor and let's have you move yourselves inside. Well, I'm going to move you inside of the ring of wagons to the north here because there's horses standing other places. And Jimmy too.
We're gonna have to figure out how I can move him myself too, eventually.
Yeah, probably going to need to give him a different token. I don't know if it's because it's two things in your name, but yeah. So yeah, inside of this big tent in the middle, you can hear a lot of Vistani just kind of grumbling and arguing.
I don't know, he might. Pratim seems to keep him under a pretty
What are we doing?
firm hand, though.
This seems like Corfel's party so far.
Yeah, these are elves, dude.
All of the Vistani? No. The elves are in the houses around the encampment at the base of the hill, right?
Based on what you're seeing inside of the tent, yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So give me another quick perception check, please, Corfel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's better.
Oh, no, much better. So, of the Vistana that are in this tent, the 6 that are closest to you are unconscious. And I don't mean they've been beat up and knocked out. I mean they are drunk. The 3 that are farthest from you, 2 of them have their back to you, and one of them is just beating the ever-loving shit out of one of the this one Vistana, and just slapping him mercilessly to the point where, like, yeah, he's drunk too, not as drunk as the others. He's about to go down as well from the many bitch slaps.
Seeing what's happening, I'm gonna run forward and also, like, just fucking backhand this bitch.
Wow.
Like, with a giant fucking grin on my
Label him
face.
Red to make sure we know, like, that's the guy you want to bitch slap, right?
Yep.
He's the one who's been getting slapped. You're going to assist in the slappinating.
Yep.
Callow's just gonna stare in awe, like, what the fuck? He's gonna be like, Corfel, why?
Okay, what is your strength modifier?
-1.
Okay, yeah, no, 2 plus your strength modifier. He had 3 hit points left, so you take him down to 0, and he is out.
He's dead?
No, he's
No,
knocked
he's
out.
unconscious. He's making some death saving throws, but you bitch slapped him near to death.
Ha ha ha, this seems fun. There was none of this at the last Vistani camp. I turn and say to the others.
All right, so as you turn around, you are now facing the 2 guys who were standing over this dude, and you realize you've met one of them before.
Oh shit, they're not Vistani.
Hang on a sec. Oh, we lost Angel.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, it looks like you've dropped out of the...
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So it's kind of hard to tell with how close together they're all bunched up, but Corfeld, the guy who is directly next to you, is Aragal, the guy who drew you into Barovia. He handed you the note in the tavern that brought the group here.
Yep. I remember that face.
And it seems as though he recognizes you too. The guy a little bit to your south. What in the hell is this? I was punishing him myself. I
And
did not need your assistance.
I'm gonna backhand him too.
Yeah, so you miss, and let's roll for initiative. You just walked into the guy's house and started throwing bitch slaps. Come on. Oh, let me clear out the old ones.
I'll pick
Alright.
up initiative, but I don't plan on doing much unless this looks like it's getting nasty.
Yeah, no, same. I'm rolling initiative, but I'm mostly just gonna be like, oh god.
We're all just kind of in agreement to just leave him to his fate. Moderately.
Yeah, as long as they don't kill him.
Most of you are going last anyway, so you wouldn't be able to save me if you wanted to.
All right. Give me a minute before I figure out these two's modifiers.
Bro.
I didn't have this ready to go. I didn't think you were going to pick a fight.
Pimp slap.
Bro.
I haven't
also,
said that I'm trying to pick a fight yet, to be fair.
Also, we're in a tent. We don't know how many others are here or are going to fuck with us.
I think it's only the two.
Okay, so I need their initiative rolls, which will be for the guy that you hit.
Fuck yeah.
Which you can probably see in the initiative order. His name is Luvash. Spoilers. And
No, the
Erigol,
name is
who
not
you
there.
have met before.
I'm not stabbing
Oh, he's
anybody
going
yet
first.
either. How do you roll a natural 1 and then a natural 20, D?
The Curse of Strahd.
That's a good answer.
This guy is passed out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each of the no-name Vistani in the room are passed out.
Okay.
All right. So Erigol draws his short sword and he makes 2 attacks against Corfell. He has a +6 to hit.
What have you done?
Okay. So that is going to be 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution. It's 8 damage, we said, yes?
Yes, that's 8 piercing damage.
Oh, no.
Okay, you failed, so you're going to take full damage from this.
Oh, shit.
What in the fuck is
So that's 18 poison damage. So you, with your 31 hit points, have taken 26 damage on his first attack.
Yep.
Yeah. Looks like that one's going to hit too.
Yep. I'm out.
You're at like
Oh,
1
shit,
now,
I'm
right?
at 1.
Constitution saving throw.
Come on. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to take half of this one.
Yeah, you're fucked.
So the good news is it's not enough to kill you outright. Bad news is it's time for some death saving throws. So Corfell is now on the floor. He's bleeding and like some of his wounds are like bubbling strangely. And Erigol and Luvash, like they're no longer attacking. They just kind of turn around, like they're looking at him, looking at one another, looking back at you guys. And Erigol, what in the fuck?
are you thinking?
I didn't get an opportunity to explain.
Alright, Snipper, it's your turn.
I believe there was a strategy. I thought you knew something about them that I did not.
No, please, don't worry
Maybe
about
you
coloring my
understood
stuff
customs. You get in on the
when you
fight,
have
save a
actual
few blood.
paid work to be
No.
doing. I appreciate it, and I'm sure it's
Luvash
going to look
now looks
absolutely
even more
fucking magical
confused.
when it's
This
done.
is not
You know,
even
but
Dusk Elf. What the fuck kind of elf? What? I thought there was a Dusk Elf in my tent, and who in the fuck?
I'm gonna give him a little bit of healing from my lay on hands. So this will actually be a slap on hands for 5 health.
Bitch slap on hands. Yes.
so how much am I getting back?
5.
Okay.
There is no negative health, so you just have 5
Yep.
health now.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Your coloring is not bad.
Are we
Thank you
gonna
very
still be in
much.
combat, or can I go around and?
Your
slap
coloring
the other
and your
guy?
art is fantastic, and it has bolstered
Oh,
us all the way
guy
through.
who Corbell
Hashtag
knocked out.
Shady Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you don't act aggressively towards these two, they're still kind of confused.
Okay. I'm gonna give that guy 5 health too.
Okay.
I cough as I
Alright.
come back up.
So.
There's no
That was
need
not
to
the
be like that.
best-
I thought we were all having fun.
And Aragol was, yeah, I did have some fun just now, yes. But we're very busy.
Lily,
Okay.
don't.
Well,
Why you do this, puppy?
at least we are not trying to kill each other anymore. There's been enough of that in the last few days.
No, don't be a pest. Or I'll feed you to the monsters.
Hi. We are looking for
Big
So
old
people-
dumb boxer dog.
general information.
But she's my big old dumb boxer dog.
I don't know what to call
Alexi at this point, Luvash. Alexi's the name of the guy on the ground. My bad. Luvash, the guy who was doing the bitch slapping originally, he has drawn a scimitar and a dagger and has pointed both of them at you, Sniverax. That is very interesting. We are also looking for someone. My daughter. It is strange that you come here now while I am seeking her so desperately. Is this related to her disappearance?
Dogs.
What's your daughter's name?
That is a very good question. Sorry, I had it a moment ago, and then I had to kill Corfell. Arabelle.
Arabelle. That is not who we're seeking.
So yes, okay, yep, sorry. Get my head back on straight. Okay. We were away for a day or two on some business. We come back. Everyone is drunk. My daughter is missing. Alexi here points to the guy that has that is not Corfell, who has been bitch slapped back to healthiness. Alexi was supposed to be in charge, but he was the drunkest of the bunch.
I'm getting back to my feet and dusting myself off. And there's a light to my eyes as if the pain of what just happened was enjoyable.
Wow, okay.
You fucking weirdo.
So we've gone from dream pieing wolves to just straight
Masochism? Yeah, what the fuck?
Read up on the Shadow Kai, dude. They're interesting.
I don't think I will. No.
A light that exactly says I
So
learned
yeah,
nothing.
for future reference, by the way, Aragol, the guy who brought you here, his stat block is Assassin. He is a challenge rating of 8.
Yeah, I get that. Thanks for the warning. As I get up and dust myself off, the light that was in my eyes starts to fade slightly as I resettle myself and I look towards Aragol for a moment without saying anything, and then look towards the other gentleman that I initially tried to slap. Apologies. Seeing the goings on heated my blood and I got carried away.
Everybody kind of shrugs.
So, all right. I suppose I'll be the second rude person here. Is it unusual for your group to be drunk like this? I do not know your lifestyle, but often I hear tales of traveling folk. They get to set their own schedules and they take liberties with it.
It's at this point that Alexei says, "We are supposed to be in charge. While the cat was away, the mice got hammered."
Hey, no, don't do that. Crazy dog.
Where did you go?
And it's still Luvash talking. "I escorted my brother to the edge of the territory. He
Lily.
had business outside of Barovia." Aragol looks you directly in the eyes, Corfel, and gives you kind of a shit-eating grin. It is now clear to you that the business that took them away was the same business that brought your ass here.
I just blow him a kiss.
Very confused.
You are very fucked up, and I'm here for it.
This is the guy that gave us the invite?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who just dropped Corfel like a sack of potatoes is the guy who brought you to Barovia.
In that morning after the fight with the thing.
With the false
Forget what
it's
Hydra,
called.
yes.
Yes.
In character, I don't think you ever knew its name, so yeah.
Oh, that was enlivening. I feel awake now.
So, before we get into our own questions, you who are supposed to be watching the camp, do you remember, or are you aware of the drunkenness? Did you actually intend for this?
So I assume you're talking to Alexei, who, he's been healed up, but he's still not in the best shape. He's more than a little hungover, and he's just been beaten nearly to death. I intended
You
to get
can't
drunk.
keep doing that, dog.
Oh, well,
No.
then you just failed at your job. All right.
He sort of closes his eyes and shrugs. Like, yeah, kind of.
All right. So you are looking for a woman. I suppose we can help with that at some point, but we do have a few questions of our own, if you don't mind.
We have little time for your questions, unless they will lead us to my daughter.
They could. Many events here seem to be connected in strange ways.
He gives you sort of an annoyed look and gestures with his hand to continue quickly.
Corfel, you remember most about this, the person you are looking for, if you are focused enough.
Of course. Are you indicating that I should leave the tent?
Yes, yes. You had the questions on this. You were kind of.
Yep. So I'm going to stagger past Aragal, and walk outside, and then start making my way back down the hill to eventually try and find some Dusk Elves to have a chat with.
Okay, he is not.
Poor Stimrex. Poor Stimrex. Kylo's gonna remark, clearly your assumption was wrong.
All right then.
Which assumption?
Oh my god.
Did I miss something?
Yes. He wanted you to talk to those guys, and he was like, if you're cogent enough to talk to these guys, go ahead and ask questions.
Hang on.
And you walked out of the fucking tent.
I even said, are you indicating you want me out of the tent? And he said yes.
You said, am I leaving the tent? We heard, am I leading the tent? We're like, oh, sure, okay, lead away. Where the fuck is he going?
All right, I come back inside.
Kylo is laughing his ass off.
Sorry, I have a dog licking at my arm, and it's a little bit distracting, so... I think I misunderstood what you were saying, Sniff. Perhaps I'm still a little bit... punch drunk, let's say.
That is one word for it, yes.
I'm on the other side of Aragal and Luvosh, having come back in. What is it your daughter required protection from? And did she by chance have any dealings with that toy maker back in Vallaki?
To answer your first question, Borovia in general, to answer your second question, no, they don't like us in Vallaki. There's only one person in Vallaki who seems to care for us, but she is not in charge right now.
And who would that be, if I might ask?
Persuasion check.
Fuck yeah.
That would be the Lady Wachter.
I see. Callow...
At this point, they're both just kind of going, and?
Callow and Kalika are behind me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so as he references the Lady Wachter, my one hand is going to slip behind my back and make like a no gesture, like we need to sort of be careful here.
Oh yeah, Callow recognized that. I was gonna say the moment Callow heard Lady Wachter, he's still laughing, but he's realizing, oh, okay, and just letting his laughter die down, trying to be natural with it, but he's listening much more intently now.
And do you know of anybody that would be looking to kidnap your daughter? Or harm her in any way?
If I knew of someone who sought to do her harm specifically, do you think I would still be here?
No, you seem insistent enough that the Vistana were to protect her. Aside from Barovia itself, which we too have found to be somewhat more dangerous than your average area. It seems you may have an insight that we would also benefit from.
Unfortunately, I do not know where she may have gone. If I had some idea, I would not be here punishing this creature right now. I would save that for later.
Insight check, please.
Yeah, hit me.
All's nipples glisten.
Yeah, he seems to be legit.
Okay. Perhaps then, to make up for my discourtesy, we could assist by asking around camp for you, while you continue to deal with those here within the tent.
There's one more thread.
Quick question. Like, are you trying to imply to Luvash that the Dusk Elves might have something to do with his daughters?
No, I'm just looking for a way to get out by sort of but essentially, trying to say perhaps I could just ask around camp to see if anybody saw anything. Not if they were involved, but whether anything potentially was out of the ordinary.
Okay.
There's one more thread to this. It could be useful. We initially came to this town, or the first time we heard of this place was in connection with another missing woman. What would you say, 16, 17, perhaps? It was suspected that she went here on her own, and in the process she disappeared. Now, if there's someone who is taking women, it could be connected. Have you heard of I guess Sniv will describe.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name. Give me just a sec to go through the notes.
Gertruda, right? You're talking about Mad Mary's daughter?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Give me a quick insight check, Sniv.
Sure. Just to be safe, Callow, do you want to assist?
Man.
Yeah, sure, man.
Or,
I'll assist.
sorry, yeah, that'll work.
First death.
So, Aragol and Luvash, when they hear the name Gertruda, they look at one another and then cover it up. Like, they try to cover it up, but just look back and pretend it didn't happen. But they know something. Luvash begins speaking. I do not know this name. I can assure you she is not here.
It's the way you looked at each other. It did seem to have significance, though. As I said, these things could be connected. And if you are certain they are not, then perhaps you are connected to the one we are seeking.
So far, nothing, Angel, except that when the name Gertruda was dropped, Mad Mary's daughter, Luvash and Aragol seemed to know who that was.
Kyle's gonna chime in and say, but if you insist that you don't know her, then I think we can take them at their word for it. Callow's like trying to nudge at Snivrax and Corfel. Don't push this.
I'm leaving things alone now, man.
I've already died once today. Jesus. Luvash takes a beat and looks directly in your eyes, Sniverax, and says, I am not at liberty to discuss the affairs of my patron, the one who rules this land. Do you understand me?
I do understand. And I understand the predicament of the Vistani. We have met with several camps? Is it one or two?
This is two.
We have talked to enough to understand the difficulties of this land. But I suppose we have no other leads, and I have only one more question for you. It is unrelated, of course. We have heard of a Golgos tree, that it may have magics useful to us.
Golfias.
Golfias, thank you.
Yes. Big black tree, lots of thorns, lots of crazy men who smell of poo around it on Yester Hill.
Ah, so it is at Yester Hill. And is that the only one?
I should hope so. It is most unpleasant.
Well, I appreciate your honesty with this. And as we said, we will keep our ear out for your daughter. Are there any features we can know her by? I mean, aside from looking mostly like you.
So yeah, he gives a quick breakdown. Dark hair, the type of clothing she was last wearing, which I don't know, but we'll retcon it later. That she's a 7-year-old girl, gives you an approximate height and weight. And yeah, looks like him without the facial hair, mostly. So you have an idea.
Mostly. And from our understanding, Vistani are not usually welcome in town, correct? Would she be an exception?
Luvash seems to think about this. Perhaps if she changed her clothing, it is possible.
Well, then I will leave you to dealing with your underlings as you need to.
He nods, and as you guys start to walk away, wait, you came all this way to ask about the girl who I could not discuss? Truly?
Well, our path here is not clear yet, so we talk to who we can.
We sought information on this tree for Sniverax also. I'm going to keep my mouth shut about wanting to speak to the Dusk Elves.
Okay.
Honestly, it's been a strange time here. There are very few people who are willing to talk to us at all about what is going on. Oh, I guess that was another line of inquiry I had considered before. Strahd, you seem to know him. Do you know anything of his tastes?
Before I answer that, let's take 5.
Yes.
Hey. Alright, be right back, stream.
I was terrified you were going to say roll for initiative again.
Oh, I made it out of that alive for now.
Let's be
We'll see
honest,
what happens
every
when I
time
come
make
back.
You roll for initiative, something real bad happens.
Lily potty? Outside, but potty, not play. It's still very wet, though. Monty, go! Dogs are always stubborn. The problem is it's wet outside because we got rain overnight, and Lily has a tendency to make a mess. But I think she's okay now. She's settled down. I have returned.
Yeah.
Part boxer. We splashed out for genetic testing because we were curious because she was a rescue. I was insisting from the get-go that she was at least part boxer, but the wife was like, no, clearly, like she can't be a boxer because she didn't want to own a boxer. Being a vet, she has issues with, well, not issues, but she knows the tendencies that health tends to take for animals in general, and she was leery of boxers because of their proclivity for throwing tumors and shit like that as they grow older in growths. But we forked out for the genetic testing, and it came back 25% boxer and 75% too dilute to tell. So we call her a boxer bits every now and then when we're not calling her other names. Yeah, we got Lily. We have 2 cats because, yeah, I have many fish,
I'm back.
and then we have a bird as well. But they're all, with the exception of the fish, all the animals are rescues. I think we're still waiting on Prateem and Angel.
Okie doke. That break worked out well because I needed more caffeine.
I'm gonna need something here soon. Fuck. Oh shit, I forgot to fill my water. Back in a second.
Yep.
Nice. Man, I want reptiles. But one, you need a license for them in Australia. Not that that's too big of a deal, but given that we also have two very inquisitive cats and Lily who likes to get her business. Oh, sorry, I forgot. I was holding that down. You guys didn't need to hear that.
I mean, I was looking at the stream when you started talking, so I got it. I keep you muted so it doesn't echo, but like I get you.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, reptiles might not be such a good idea.
Don't you have like an aggressive lizard species about the size of a small dog in Australia?
Oh, larger than a small dog. The goannas get quite big.
I remember seeing a video a couple months ago of a goanna running into a restaurant, and like most of the patrons like either running out of the restaurant or like getting to the walls to get out of its path. And this one person runs over, grabs it by its tail, and just drags it outside and chucks it, even though it's like 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And like afterwards, like somebody writes a little description like, yeah, she was a French exchange student. She was the only one in the room who didn't know what a fucker a goanna could be. She was too dumb to be afraid of it.
Honestly, that works with a lot of predators.
It surprisingly, yeah. I'm sure the animals would be fine. We're also limited on space at the moment because every available space in a room is usually taken up with bookshelves.
Okay.
We have
you were
so
the last
many
one that had that
bookshelves.
song in my head, so here we go. All right, so you were asking Luvash what Strahd's into, huh?
His tastes, and to make this clearer, Sniv will pull out the nesting doll. I have a feeling we may meet him at some point, and from my time as an apprentice, it's occurred to me it would be good to bring him a gift of some sort. We are not necessarily wealthy, so it's harder to figure out.
Luvash's face screws up just a little bit. Well, he is not an easy man to know. Finery he has. It seems that what he tends to covet is beauty.
Interesting.
Maybe it is art. Maybe it is... And his voice kind of trails off. But I'm sure you'll find something. Yes?
I am certain. I appreciate this.
May I ask a question on this?
Luvash looks at you.
Is beauty to your kind? I have noticed that you describe things as beautiful that I would not call beautiful, and vice versa. So I'm not sure what beauty means to non-your type.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It is true. When it comes to a woman, symmetry of features, something I can, and he gestures somewhat lewdly, something I can be hold on to. Is hard to define.
Kalika just still looks uncertain.
Yeah, I started to have him say that bit about it's like pornography. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. But that I feel like there aren't a lot of Supreme Court justices in Barovia, so that wouldn't really land right. Kalika, like as he eventually goes back to what he's doing, his actually no, give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
I'm not getting into that again. Oh, slap happy. Slap happy get me in trouble.
So before Luvash goes back to what he was doing, you seem to catch him glancing at the twin scars that your friend the trap left on your chest at one point.
Okay. Alright, she's gonna have to probably have a discussion with someone in the group at some point to ask a few clarifying questions about two-legged things, but that's for a later point in time. Actually, hold on. Kalu, you're still around with everybody, right?
Me? Yeah.
Alright, Kalika's probably gonna look around, catch her eye on you, probably measure out and think for a second and realize, okay, you're like
I had the
the
same
most
thought here too.
human thing present at the moment that she knows well. She's probably gonna slide up to you and just kind of like, not very good whisper, but whispering just, Kalo, for human things, are scars beautiful? Or are they ugly?
Full-bodied indeed.
That really depends on the person that's looking at the scars, Kalika. I wish I could tell you
So
a better
full-bodied
answer,
that Luvosh would
but
probably
it
be able
really
to get a
depends on
good
the
grip
person
on it.
that's looking at the scars.
Kaliko just nods and looks a little grumpy.
All right, so Aragal and Luvash have turned their back on you and are busy like roughing up Alexei and occasionally like asking him a question and then bitch slapping him again before he can answer, spitting on him, that sort of thing. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to retreat out of the tent.
I'm gonna stick close to Corfell.
And I'm going to move outside the circle of wagons. And then I'm going to collapse somewhat down and sit against the wheel for a moment.
Okay.
Seeing Sniv with me, I think I got a bit carried away.
A little bit, yes. Could you please just explain what happens there?
Let's just say I enjoy some of the sharper things in life. And seeing the beating got my blood a little heated.
And apologies for interrupting, but as you're having this conversation, Corfell, you can hear movement inside the wagon that you're leaned up against. Like you're not talking so loud that like people inside can hear you, but you're pretty sure you can hear the sound of a couple of children playing inside.
Okay.
Just to add a weird backdrop to what's going on. Sorry, continue.
It's a little worrying. I need to know you'll be able to
No
control
worries,
this
Yuto.
if
Have fun.
we end up in another situation like this.
I will try to control myself better. But while this conversation is happening, that light has somewhat returned to my eyes and fades again as the conversation peters out.
I can't say I understand this fully, but if it is something you are interested enough in, I'm sure there is somebody in our group who is willing to apply pain.
We'll see. For now, I think we should look to the Dusk Elves.
Yes. Also, I did notice when he dropped you, he noticed that you are not a Dusk Elf. And that's when he stopped. So, they're definitely not friends with Dusk Elves here.
It is curious, then, that they make their camp on a hill surrounded by them.
I am wondering if the prediction was not that we would find a Dusk Elf literally here, but that we must follow the Vastani, and they will lead us to a Dusk Elf.
Perhaps you're right.
So I would say Angel and Pratim, we have your token still inside the tent. Like, have you guys eventually meandered over to where this is happening?
Oh yes, I was just listening. Yeah, but I'm not gonna like split off from them. No.
Yeah.
Just
So-
making sure.
To give them space if they wanted this to be like a private character-to-character moment.
Oh no, fuck that. I'm listening.
As Khalid, we moved out ahead of you anyway, had our conversation. I do give Sniv a pat on the shoulder. Thank you for the assistance, though. I appreciate not dying just yet.
Of course, I appreciate your sorry, my brain is dying. I appreciate you fighting
yours.
us. ...
I lever myself back up to my feet. Come, we should see to the Dusk Elves and try and be done with our business here before Luvosh and Aragal are done inside the tent.
Yes. I am now also interested in Green something tavern. Green Acorn?
The Blue Gill? Where are we supposed to meet your friend, Pratim?
Blue Water Inn.
Blue Water.
Yeah.
I was like, Green Acorn. What the fuck just happened?
I don't know. I think that was another tavern.
Alright, can I, from up here, looking around the hill, doing a slow circuit, can I see any Dusk Elves in evidence that I could approach?
So, perception check. Okay, cool. So you don't see any Dusk Elves from where you are. However, you noted on your approach that they tended to be out in the front door of each of these buildings, which is facing away from the hilltop. You also notice as you look around that the house farthest to the south seems to be built a little bit differently than the others. Maybe it's just a little bit better maintained. You can't quite put your finger on it, but the house to the south is the good house.
I think we should go this way. And I lead on.
As he goes, so we follow, I guess.
All right, so Corfel, as you see upon arrival, There's more than one guard out in front of this one.
Are these humans again, Vistani, or are they Dusk Elves now?
They are Dusk Elves. Let me zoom in so I can deal with this. Hang on. Okay, you should be able to see his name now. He is a Dusk Elf Guard.
Indeed.
Hmm.
And it's about midday-ish, a little bit after midday now, right? Because you said we'd get here about midday, and then we had some
Correct.
time in the tent with Luvosh and Aragar.
Exactly. All right, so the one furthest from the door. All right there. What do you think you're doing?
Seeking somewhere to rest a moment. It seems that on my entry to the tent above on the hill, I was taken for something perhaps that I am not, and suffered a beating for it.
You mean he thought you was one of us?
He did seem to be surprised when he realized I was not quite like you.
One moment. And the guard disappears for a moment inside. All right. You'll be allowed to rest here for a moment. Come on in. Just a second. And that should take care of the doorway's visibility.
Yep. These are big buildings.
Yeah?
Because it's still 10 feet squares, right?
Yep. So that means that's 40. Okay, so the square that you occupy is still 5 feet. So it's like 20 feet across.
Oh, it
and
is
40
now.
feet
Yeah, I see.
long, but yeah. But yeah, as you enter a dusk elf who, like, he keeps the hood of his cloak up, even though he's inside in the middle of the day. Like, you can see his face, but there's still a lot of shadow. Yes. Feel free to sit there. Rest for a moment. I understand you had an unpleasant encounter at the top of the hill. Yes.
Indeed.
Also, hi. Who are you?
Yes. I suppose, as your host, I should introduce myself. My name is Casimir Velikov, the leader of these last of the Dusk Elves.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to spell that for me.
Just a sec. You should be able to see it on his token now as well.
Okay, yep, thank you.
And Casimir seems especially interested in you, Corfell. It's been quite some time since we've seen any elf other than our own in Barovia. And you have some
interesting traveling companions.
We're just gonna wave.
What is your business here?
We are yet to determine specifically what that might be. We were attending to a matter on behalf of our Guild of Adventurers when Aragal, who is above at the moment in the tent, approached our group with an invitation to Barovia seeking our assistance in the healing of one who we have since discovered may not perhaps require said healing.
Sort of a cryptic response. Okay.
As to why we are here, we had an encounter with another group of Vistani, and one among them gave us the advice that we should seek out a dusk elf among the Vistani outside Vallaki.
Well, as far as I know, there are only 2 places in Barovia to find a dusk elf. Here, where most of us now reside, and there is one of us living in Castle Ravenloft. Although, whether or not he can be considered a dusk elf anymore is a matter for some debate.
It is not our intention to be cryptic either. It's, as Corfel has said, we were led here on an invitation, and it seems we are pieces in a larger game. It is just as cryptic to us as it is to you.
I believe the term for it in this language is bumbling idiots.
Yes, that could be applied.
Harsh, but true.
Are we treating this conversation while we're sitting here also as a short rest?
Yeah, I was going to wait till the end of the conversation to state it, though.
Yep.
Just,
Okay. We'll get through this, and then we'll sort that out.
right on.
I come seeking specifically a dusk elf that may require assistance.
Give me either a perception or an insight check. Your call. And that's Corfel. I mean, I know what your signature is. I'm just either one of these would work for me. Okay. When you say a dusk elf in need of some assistance, Casimir's eyes narrow and like he just sort of freezes in place for a moment, focused on you. Brother, you've got his attention.
What kind of assistance does this fellow need?
Sorry, who was?
I was going to say, if you guys can't remember, like if you're going off of the card reading, I can copy paste.
I've still got all that up. I'm just trying to figure out how best to But did you have something to say, Raka?
Yeah.
You go.
I know this is something that people will not usually want to say, but I feel that we must approach this honestly. We need to know where do you stand with Strahd?
So, Sniverax, you feel Casimir looking you over, like gives you a quick like up and down, and like there's nothing inherently prurient about it. He is taking your measure, as a person, as a warrior. And his eyes kind of drift across the rest of the group. And you see him reach up and pull his he pulls his hood back, and you notice he even turns his face to the side a little bit so that you cannot help but see his ears have been mutilated. So the Dusk Elves that you've met up until this point have ears much like any other elf, a bit longer than the human standard and coming to a point. His are actually kind of truncated, like pit bulls. Have docking done sometimes.
It would be fair to say that we are not on the best of terms. He is responsible for the impending end of our species.
I'd like to guidance and insights, assistance from wherever else you can get it. He's really trying to get the best measures he can here.
I am also pointedly listening now and working with Sniv since we're both next to each other.
So it would be fair to say this is a 19 on an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Strahd and he got pissed. Not at you, but at Strahd.
I'm
Okay.
also sort of, as that conversation is happening between Sniverax and Castlemere, I'm muttering just loud enough about my rest being not as great as it should have been due to dark dreams that seem to be interfering with my trances.
Yeah, he hears that. Like, he's having a full conversation. You say the word dream, and he is locked the fuck on to you, Corthel.
Since you have entrusted us with this information, I feel I must reciprocate. We are we are enemies of Strahd. For the moment, it is not. The fight has not begun, but we are opposed. And it's not like Strahd does not know this. I feel like the last time I cursed him out, he got the message. That river has been crossed.
You see a smile tug at one of the corners of Casimir's mouth.
You say dark dreams. Could you be more specific, please?
Only that I have a sense of a great loss and shadowy figures moving throughout with evil intent. And that in some way I may be able to assist. And at that point, I look up and look him directly in the eye.
Okay. He has an expression on his face that is hard to quantify exactly. He is somehow relieved and horrified and terrified and emboldened all at once. It takes him a moment to sort of bring himself back under control.
I have been burdened by dark dreams of late. I believe that these dreams represent a message, a plea from someone who I once failed. I believe I may be able to redeem myself. I have not acted on these dreams up until this point because there is much danger in what I must do. However, if I were accompanied by, say, 4 seasoned adventurers, it's possible I may be able to atone for what I've done, perhaps even save my people. If you would accompany me on this quest, I should offer you any assistance that is mine to give in your fight against Strahd.
I look to the others and sort of convey that the last time we were told we should have a cakewalk with something, Ismark almost got us fucking killed. No. But there is that concern in my head. But I look to the others with an expression that sort of is also requesting their assistance in this and bolstering the request from Casimir for help.
Sniv will nod.
I don't know much about seasoning, but I'm trying to learn. If you're willing to be patient, then yes.
Cal is just gonna say, look, if that's where you're gonna go, well, I'll go with you."
I do get hit with a bit of sharp pain as all of this is coming to a head and collapse back against the wall and let myself sink back to the ground. I do think I'm going to need some time before we do anything, though.
Yes, you definitely took a beating. I might be able to help some. I am no medic, but I know a little bit. I've done some patching up before, and if it doesn't work, of course I can use magic.
I figure we just take a rest while Casimir explains to us what we might be able to help him with.
Okay.
There is a place far to the south from here, known as the Amber Temple. I believe we may be at concurrent purposes here. It is my belief that the secret to breaking Strahd's power, both over this land and over himself, may reside there, as well as a way to revive my sister.
Your sister?
Many, many years ago, my dear sister, Patrina, was enamored by Count Strahd Anzarovich. He took her as his consort. She went, as far as we could tell, willingly. But we could not stand for this. It was wrong on several levels. That she would willingly go with a vampire. Or the other possibility that he had manipulated her mind, but she was beyond our help. To save her from herself, to deny Strahd that which he coveted, we stoned Patrina to death. It has been the greatest regret of my life, even counted against what happened next. Strahd retaliated. He does not enjoy it when mere mortals deprive him of that which he covets. He decided to punish the Dusk Elves as a people. You may have noticed that all of the Dusk Elves you have encountered have been male. This is because we were all that Strahd allowed to live. The women were slaughtered to the last one. What you see here is the last of a dying people. And one of Strahd's followers, he points to his ears, gave me this as a reminder, he said, as if I needed to be reminded of the worst chapter of my life. But of late, I have had dreams of Patrina. Dreams, I think, from Patrina, telling me how I might bring her back. It is vague, only that it is dangerous. And the secret to restoring her lies in the same place as the secret to destroying Strahd, which, as I mentioned, was the Amber Temple.
On a slight separate note, just for myself, do the clothing that the guards were wearing, did they seem reminiscent of the dead Dusk Elf, the singular one that I saw moving amongst the pageant of the dead when we were back in Barovia in the village?
Yes. Similar style, similar color scheme.
Okay.
Not exactly the same. With the exception of Casimir here, like everybody's dressed more or less identically. But so like it couldn't have been one of these guards, but so it looks like somebody, maybe one of their dads or granddads.
Okay.
Who is the Amber Temple dedicated to?
I do not know if anyone in Barovia knows the answer to that, except perhaps Strahd himself. It is rumored that before he became what he is, when he was just a man, Something there empowered him and made him what he is.
Definitely a place to visit.
And it's worth noticing that Casimir, yes, he's dressed a little different than everyone, but it's not just because he's the leader. Like, as you really get a good look at him, let's see, who's closest to him? Sniverax, Corfel, Kalika, could you guys each give me a quick Arcana check? Oh, yeah, Corfel. Okay, yeah. So Sniverax maybe doesn't fully understand what she's seeing, but the rest of you just now that you kind of know what you're looking for, he's not just wearing different robes, he's wearing wizard's robes. He appears to be wearing a ring that has some sort of magical, you know what, with the natural 20 Corfel, he's wearing a ring of warmth. And he's got a leather-bound book attached to his belt that you suspect is probably a spell book.
And you said ring of warmth, yeah?
Warmth, correct. Okay.
Oh, there is something else if we are trying to gather information. Among the things we have heard, or got in our reading, there was mention of a sword of sunlight. Do you know of anything like this?
I have not heard of such a thing, but if a weapon of that nature existed in Barovia, the Amber Temple might be the one place it could reliably escape Strahd's notice.
All signs point to the Amber Temple again. Oh, sorry, I do have one more question. We have picked up many little threads and we're trying to pull something together, but magic woods, which would be useful to me, we were told of druids. Sorry, I need to grab the name.
The Golthias tree and Yester Hill.
Yes. The druids of Yester Hill. The Vistani spoke of them with contempt. Do you know if these druids are civilized? Are they enemies?
They are not your friends. This is certain. I know very little about their specifics. I do know that they revere Strahd.
Okay. Well. I suppose that's one more thing to
It is
clean up.
unlikely they will be helpful to you unless it is to Strahd's benefit.
Well, we don't need them as much as we need the trees that they live around. Yeah, that seems like problems for another day. For now, we rest, we gather our strength, and then we assist you.
The journey to the Amber Temple It'll take almost a full day. And it would be best if the Vistani did not realize I had left. Perhaps you are welcome to rest here for the rest of the day, or to leave and come back. I believe we should set out first thing in the morning for the Amber Temple. And just to be clear, if you have the map handout, I want to say the Amber Temple is marked with an X. It's definitely the southernmost indicated spot on the map.
Okay.
Yes, it is marked with an X.
Yep.
And you would currently be somewhere near the N marker. So just to be clear, when y'all head that way, like assuming you all head out from here to there, which is what Casimir seems to be proposing, like I'm probably going to throw a couple of random encounters at you, and it's going to take a full day.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all are welcome to head out at night. That's just a different set of encounters.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, it does give us a little bit of time for downtime. We could probably check out the tavern.
And we do still have the invitation from Strahd that maybe we want to use before having the final confrontation.
I mean,
we don't have to rush into the final confrontation, right?
well,
We can still use the invitation.
Yeah, the invitation from Strahd is not necessarily the final confrontation. It can be if that's what you want it to be.
No, thank you.
I'm hoping that the temple isn't the final confrontation.
If the way that Corfal's going keeps up, that invitation may be the final.
Look, man, I saw somebody getting slapped.
You're like, I want some of that.
I needed to be involved.
Okay, so a couple of bits of meta knowledge here for you guys. The Curse of Strahd module is designed for first level players, but it's expected to get towards the end around level 10 if you survive that long. So there's plenty of other shit to do before you pick that fight. And basically, Casimir, his stat block is going to be very, very similar to that of the mage in Roll20. So he's effectively a CR6 that you've recruited to your side.
Interesting.
I'm just leery of not being quite prepared for the Amber Temple.
Yeah, I don't think it should be the exact next thing we go to.
Casimir, how dangerous is this temple likely to be?
I imagine that the odds of at least one of us making it out alive to be at least 85%.
Only the one.
As the number of survivors grows, the probability drops. There are many unknowns in the Amber Temple. I am unaware of any who have entered it and left.
Oh shit. Zangu just showed up in stream. We're all dead.
I'm gonna suggest we rain check this. I don't know. Is he like he's planning on going now? Right the fuck now?
I have waited many years for this opportunity. If it is for the best, I am willing to wait a few more days. You have other missions.
Alright, so here's the thing, and this is completely out of character, and you can feel free to tell me to shut the fuck up and mind my own business. But the last time we asked the fucking NPC if something was a good idea, they said we'd fucking be fine, it'd be a cakewalk, and we picked a fight with a fucking hag. Is there any way we can determine... Sorry, you were saying, Angel?
My vote is just on wait a day or two, just to try and get a level or two before we try and face that shit.
Is the quest text red?
Dude, it's Barovia. All the quest text is in red and has skulls next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can't really avoid that too much. Maybe the best thing we can do is pick up a reliable companion here. If we can go to the tavern and find, whoever sent the raven, maybe we can find an ally and do a little bit better.
Okay. Allow us a day or two, as you say, to gather ourselves. It may also be more beneficial to not be seen to depart in that direction on the same day that I inadvertently picked a fight with those on the hill above.
To be fair, you confused them as much as you did get them to fight you. But I am hoping, so the last few things we fought here were a hag who was cooking children who nearly killed us. Although we did manage to put her in a bag and beat her to death. And then we found vampires in an attic. And Tom, bless us, I do not know how we lived through it, but we killed 6 vampires. I wish to give you all the assistance we can, but I also do not wish to mislead you about our strengths. I will try to find anything else that will help us here, and then we can depart. I do believe it will take a day or two.
This is acceptable. Tell me, is there any advice I can offer that might hasten your efforts?
Oh, yes. Many of our enemies seem to be protected by foul magics. And only my sword and, magic itself seems to be able to harm them. Is there a way that we can...
I'm glad you showed up now and not
enhance
before,
weapons?
dude, because I died.
Or find another way around
Though not
this?
permanently, obviously. Though I fear that had you been here when it went down, there may not have been any stopping it, and I would have been dead.
There are many creatures in Barovia that are not as affected by the mundane weapons as you might wish them to be. Many of those creatures are harmed if those same mundane weapons are to be coated in silver.
Oh.
Perhaps if you knew a blacksmith of sufficient skill and had, silver, you might be able to turn the tables, as it were.
Excellent.
There are rumors, of course, of magical items and weapons in Barovia. Many of them deep inside Castle Ravenloft itself. which does not seem to be the ideal place for you to seek them out. I have heard rumors of a magical weapon of some sort among the druids of Yester Hill,
Oh boy.
but I do not know the nature of the weapon. I do not even know if one of us could wield it.
Sniv will pull out a wooden sword and shillelagh. Even if there is not a magic item itself, the wood of the tree is magic. And as you can see, the blessing of Torm allows me to channel his will directly through a wooden weapon. It is, I believe, beneficial for sure. We can get use out of it, no matter what. But I believe, just judging on our map, the only reasonable thing we can do before you must depart is a silvered weapon, unless there happens to be one in town.
I am not aware of anyone who owns, makes, possesses any silvered weapons. I only know that they are possible to create.
Do you know any good blacksmiths in town? One that may be able to handle this task?
I am not certain it would be safe to trust the locals in crafting such weapons.
Do we have another choice, though? I suppose if we have 2 days, we can get to our location, get it crafted, and then return. It is a tight schedule, though.
I think for now we should return to Valaki and seek those at the Blue Water Inn.
Yes. That will work.
However, we will return, Casimir, and we will assist you in your endeavor.
I suppose this will have to be. I will prepare for our journey in the meantime.
Perhaps to assist in ensuring the secrecy of this task, we can meet you along the road towards the temple, as opposed to collecting you here again. Much easier for you to get out alone than amongst the group, potentially.
We do stick out a little.
I suppose I cannot fault your logic.
Unless you have other means of transport that might assist us all from this spot.
If it is a worry, I'm sure one of us could travel with you when you intend to set out. It is easier for one to slip out, but two cannot be too much difference. Corfel may even be, you may even be able to blend in with the proper clothes.
Perhaps.
I thank you for your kind offer. I understand that leaving separately might be safer. And it is probably safer for me to travel alone than in a group. With some minor preparation, I am capable of invisibility and flight. I believe I should be able to arrive at the entrance to the Amber Temple safely and await your arrival. Please, do not keep me waiting overly long.
I just nod.
Flight. Oh, that's cool.
Best we be about our business then. The sooner gone, the sooner returned. We will see you at the temple.
Kind of letting everyone go out. Quick is probably going to come up to Casimir and just talk with him for a moment. Casimir, You say that only the men here are the last of your kind, right?
He nods.
I'm sorry. I do not know exactly what that is like, but the village I come from, there is not many of us left either. Not even enough for me to find someone there that is not too closely related to me to have children with. So I know it hurts knowing that there's so few of you left.
Casimir reaches out and just takes your hand in both of his and just gives you a look, shakes your hand very slowly. It's just one of recognition, commiseration, a lot of things. You share a moment.
After a second, Kalika kind of brightens up a bit and goes more to her normal thing. Goes, if you need it, and if you have someone of your kind that is very, very strong, I'd be happy to have their children. Although I would want to raise them at least half one too for myself. But if they would like to also raise them half dark elf, half dusk elf, I would have no problems with that.
She's basically like, you want to fuck though?
And then she's just gonna sort of slither out.
So, quick sidebar.
Cal's just gonna go, okay.
She did wait until everyone left to say that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
During the last campaign, I felt kind of creepy in having seduced Angel's character with a weird French vampire. So I thought, nah, even though her whole thing is she wants to have babies, I'm gonna play it cool. No, here comes Angel.
Okay, in fairness, Kalika's probably going to try and get with multiple people as long as they're strong enough.
Ugh. What is this? What's going on?
Oh, he's trying to heal.
Yep.
Oh,
by the way, I did give a medicine check while we were resting. It was an 18. Does that help him at all, recovering health?
Do you have a healing kit in your inventory?
I'm gonna check.
Clerics start with one, I think.
I think so. Priest's pack. It does not look like it.
Oh well.
Yes, I know. Like with a healer's kit, you can at least stabilize, and then there are some proficiencies that you can use to get a little bit of healing. But let's say you were able to bandage up his wounds pretty well. Figure out that the poison wasn't something that was going to continue to be toxic in his system. Just you generally helped stabilize Corfel.
Okay, good enough. Also, on the way out to Kalika, do you know if that would even
Snake balls.
What?
Reproducing with dark elves, or in fact, anything that is not a UNT.
Oh, yes. Hunting mixed with other races all the time. In fact, of the people that are left in my village, most of them are mixed. They're usually called half-bloods if it shows very well. But if it gets diluted enough in 1T blood, then sometimes they will come out more full abomination, as I am.
Interesting.
All about that snake dick.
I was not raised
or
in a kobold
hemipenes, if you're
society,
interested.
but to my understanding, kobolds can only reproduce as kobolds.
Oh, Have you ever tried testing it?
I have not. It never really seemed appropriate. I have been, well, I have always been busy, either in my training or in, I don't know what to call this. It is essentially my own journey in which I try to find my footing as a cleric and paladin of Torm.
Oh, I understand. But if you... Wait, no. Well, I suppose you can always try it if you're interested. But I understand that not everyone does want to be a mother.
I think that'll set Sniv off to just kind of her own thought for a while, or it'll just, the conversation will peter out. Just so we don't keep talking about lizard sex.
Well,
Good plan.
so there's no way that that's not going to come up again because you guys just walked into the last remaining settlement of Dusk Elves in the fucking universe, and they're all sad because, oh, we've got no women. I guess we're going to die out. And here comes Kalika. Hey, if you fuck me, I can have Dusk Elf babies.
Ha!
Still,
It's gonna get
But
interesting.
remember, she also wants them to be very strong, though. So
y'all might have just opened up a can of worms. I'm gonna have to figure this shit out.
I think if we stuck around here and charged, we could become very rich off of this, because there are a lot of Dusk Elf males here.
Excuse me, sir. Are you looking to cross-class into pimp now?
What do you mean now? Do you not remember session fucking
Well,
0?
no, this is true.
okay, the question is this more like just straight up pimping, or is this more like surrogate mother shit?
Whew.
We're gonna leave that one alone for now.
I don't know what this is, but I am uncomfortable. Okay.
Corfell, you're gonna need to insight check some of these dudes, though.
Insight.
The question is, what happens
What are
when
your
word,
intentions with my Kalika?
the question is, what happens when the word gets around?
Well, oh no.
Because like, okay, I meant that as like, okay, a private little conversation, but if it was loud enough that Snivrax was able to hear it, that opens up the can of worms that maybe some of the Dusk Elf guards heard it. So that's interesting.
I interject towards the end of that conversation as it's starting to wind down. I think for now, before we lose too much more light, we should make our way back to Valaki. We could do with another night amongst the safety of the church before checking into the inn.
Yes, the inn. We should go there. But I also agree with the safety thing.
Thank you for your time, Casimir. Because are we still inside, or did we move outside and we're just sort of hanging
I thought we
around?
already left.
Okay. Suffice to say that whenever we left, I thanked Casimir for his assistance and his allowing us to rest in his residence, and with more promises that we would return soon.
Kyle's gonna run back and just poke his head in the door and be like, "You are still gonna be here later, right? Like, do we need to find you somewhere else afterwards, or can we just find you here?"
I was made to understand the plan was that you would meet me in a few days' time at the Amber Temple. I had planned to leave in a day or so.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to double check. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So we're all on board with just making our way back to Vallaki for now, resting up overnight there, doing our thing in the inn in the morning, and then figuring out next steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to me.
Sounds good.
Are we having another random encounter roll?
Probably.
And another snake trap.
In lieu of a random encounter,
I don't know if I'm gonna like
I am
this.
going to put you back. Give me just a moment to see if I can find what I need here.
Ah, shit. No, Zungu.
Vampires
No.
appear on the screen.
And Raka,
What the fuck is that?
Raka, sir.
Yeah.
Fucking D's reading stream chat occasionally. Don't give the guy fucking ideas.
Oh no, elves.
It's the guards at the entrance to Vallaki.
Hey there, kid. You can't bring a wolf in here. What the hell are you doing? It's a different set of guards, but they all sound the same.
It's not a wolf. It's just a burly dog. And I walk over and I pet Jimmy.
I
mean, what he said. He's basically a burly dog right now. If he wanted to be a wolf, he could be a wolf. But no, you gotta just hear me out when I say he's not gonna cause any problems with anybody. Aren't you, Jimmy? And I pet Jimmy as well. He's got a name. How many wolves do you know that have names?
You know what? I will accept a 15 for a deception check. I won't even make these guys roll against it.
Wait, hold on. I need to know. Just out of curiosity.
And Raka, what makes you think that all of those things aren't already in Barovia?
What? Oh, from the stream chat?
Mm-hmm.
Do not speak, for you shall make them real, please.
2/3 of those things are real, is the scary thing. And beyond that, I have no other context.
Oh, I didn't mean they were separate things. I meant that was one thing.
Ooh.
Raka,
The
stop.
vampire archmaid Lich Tarask.
Fuck, Raka, stop.
The Strahd's wife.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Pratim.
that.
Roll the DC anyways. I just want to see what would have happened.
Oh, hang on a sec. I need to figure out what their modifier is.
That might, I don't know. We'll see if D works something like that in, Zungu.
Oh, okay, +0, easy enough.
As long as we turn it into a pet and it doesn't eat us.
Hey, even I would have. See, we would have been okay. We would have been okay.
No. If we had taken your role instead, Pratim, it would have been the other way around.
Look, no, see, 4 attempts, I would have been good.
He's just getting rid of that shit for the next round of combat.
I'm getting all the bad rolls out now, then later.
No.
All right, so there's 5 minutes left, so this is probably a good time to call it for the night, and we can pick up next. Is there a next week? It's a holiday.
I mean, I don't have Thanksgiving, so.
Canadian Thanksgiving already passed.
But it's up to you guys, yeah.
I don't have anything better to do.
Okay. Yeah, I will make sure that I make it home from my folks in time to run a session on Sunday then.
If you want to spend time with your parents,
Yeah.
dude, you spend time with your parents. Like, we can skip a week. It's not going to kill us.
Yeah.
Well, I have to be back to go to work on Monday anyway, so like I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time out there. My parents live in Corona Land.
Look, you figure it out. Let us know through the week. But I'm happy to skip
Dude.
if it means you get to spend a bit more time with your parents.
I told my parents I was probably going to leave their place on Saturday anyway, so this is my excuse to do what I pretty much wanted to do anyway. No,
Fair enough.
We're good.
Thank you for the session.
Thank
I
you,
like the ones
dude.
where we don't
Thank
die.
you for the session.
Well, let's speak for yourself.
Bart
I fucking
almost
died,
did.
man.
Thanks
everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you, D.
You finally
Can
saw
we
a
just
death,
chat
and
about
it was
the conversation
mine,
that I
even
missed?
better.
Like what was?
that,
I tried
that was
to pay
fucking
attention.
great.
It's very hard to do that and be tech support at the same
Enjoy
time.
the rest of your evening,
Okay.
and we'll see
what
you here
conversation
again
did you miss
next
exactly?
week for more
The one with
shenanigans.
Casimir.